Hey everyone, Champion here and welcome back to another episode of our SWE Octane. It's a big show tonight and fresh off of that massive announcement last week by Kenny Omega that the Elite are splitting from Bullet Club. We understand we're going to start tonight's show off with a bit of mic time for Mr. AJ Styles. And here he is then, the phenomenal one himself, Mr. AJ Styles. So, I've not seen AJ since the All or Nothing pay-per-view a couple of weeks back. Of course, at that pay-per-view, he was unsuccessful in his challenge in that fatal 4-way elimination to not only take the Octane Championship, but also the leadership of Bullet Club as well. It's been interesting, hasn't it, really, for Cody Rhodes, and we saw it last week. Cody fought for Bullet Club, fought for the leadership, thinking he was going to have the European Championship in there, the Tag Team Championships, as well as his own Octane Championship as well. And then last week, out of the blue, Kenny Omega, the Bucks, and Marty Scurll broke away from the stable and reformed their own stable. So Cody can't be happy about that situation. He can't be happy about the fact that he fought and won a reward in the ownership of Bullet Club, and then a chunk of his reward has just rebelled against him and disappeared off. So that's an interesting concept there. And I wonder what AJ Styles is going to say here. Of course, he wanted back in Bullet Club. He wanted back in as the leader. Will he rejoin with Cody, or will he take the same sort of line as Kenny Omega? I'm sure we're going to find out right now. Somebody please get AJ a mic. We need to see what he's thinking of. I don't know. At All or Nothing, I was unsuccessful in my challenge to not only gain the Octane Championship, but also the leadership of Bullet Club. Now, Bullet Club is not what they used to be. And they've got weaker now, when I believe some of their stronger parts in Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, and Marty Scurll have now walked away as well. I don't think Cody Rhodes has really got what he was hoping for. And to be honest, I think if I had won that match, I wouldn't have what I wanted either. Bullet Club now is nowhere near as good as it used to be. We used to be a dominant force and now become a bit of a laughingstock, and being led by Cody Rhodes is not a situation that I want to be involved in. Therefore, I will be recreating my own stable, the one that can completely overshadow the new Bullet Club. We're bringing back the club, and I brought some friends along. Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are here tonight to debut. And here's our opening match of the evening. It is going to be Hideo Itami versus Tyler Breeze. Two of the top names from NXT of the last few years. Really struggling. Oh no, I would say struggling in the main roster. Hideo Itami just does not seem to have adapted well to the main roster. He's been very, very quiet. Not really doing a huge amount, has he, as well? So it'll be interesting to see how he sort of pans on. Of course, he made his debut as part of the Cruiserweight tournament, and then because of that, the tournament sort of... what's the best way to put it? The tournament sort of... It sort of took over 205 Live, didn't it? So I think the fact that it's finished now might give an opportunity to Hideo Itami to really showcase his talents, which I think will be interesting to see. And of course, Tyler Breeze. Tyler Breeze is an interesting one. I think Tyler, as we've said, is a good wrestler. And a lot of people say that the way he's being treated on SmackDown is very, very bad. But then again, you look at other people, and I don't think there's many other people that get onto as many SmackDown cards as he does. He's done very, very well, in fairness, Tyler Breeze. A lot of live shows and stuff as well on TV every week as part of the Fashion Files, which is quite a comical and fun moment as well. Granted, I don't think they're ever going to walk away with the Tag Team Championships, but at the same time, they are a mainstay and they're quite an effective force on that roster. So I don't think it's too bad for them. Granted, I would love to see Tyler Breeze maybe up at the United States or Intercontinental Championship level, and who knows, in a couple of years' time he might get there. But remember, he's still quite young. He's still developing. He's only been in the main roster for a couple of years now, so give him time, and I think we could see some better stuff from Tyler Breeze. I'd say with Hideo Itami, I think Hideo's big issue has been, since he moved to WWE, he's had a couple of big injuries, which has really hampered his progress. He was out in NXT for like over a year, wasn't he, until he made that little return. Had a heel run, which was nice to see. I think a heel run for him was a nice, fresh change that really helped develop his character. But still, I think there's still some way to go before we get the best out of Hideo Itami. Can he stay injury-free for long enough for that to happen? I've got no idea. I hope so. I want to see them both do well. I'm always been a big fan, and all these sort of games, and you see when I play Foot Manager and that sort of stuff, I'm all about developing the youth, and that's why I love to see these guys come through the youth academy and sort of develop, and I get frustrated when some of the older names, like Randy Orton just looks so pissed off to be there all the time. He really looks like wrestling for him is a real chore, yet he gets pushed into the championship pictures over and over and over again, and guys like Tyler Breeze get overlooked. But who knows, a win here for Tyler Breeze could see him in a better position moving forward in this roster. Oh, I hear movement upstairs. Oh. I think I've got new neighbours moved in upstairs. Let's hope I don't get too noisy when this episode end up getting shouted at, but there you go. I'm moving out soon. I've got my own... I brought my first house I'll be moving into soon, so should be a lot better, a lot easier for me to record videos. And I'm hoping to get a new computer. I mentioned this before. Going to get a new computer, and then once I do that, I might even look at doing a little bit of live streaming as well as doing these videos, which will be interesting. I've never done it before. I think live streaming is a little bit more fun because it's just doing the footage. It's there's less editing involved for me, but it gives me a chance to really get to know you guys a bit better and interact with you more at the time rather than just by comments afterwards. Hideo sending Breeze off the ropes and then over the top, crashing to the ground below. Breeze back up with that right hand in the gut of Hideo Itami. Nice dropkick right in the face as well, and Itami slowly rolling away. And it is Breeze in control at this point in time, but can he continue the offense? Now, of course, after that big news earlier on by AJ Styles about reforming the club with a few friends, we will be obviously seeing a couple of those guys in a match later on this evening as we have a tag team #1 contendership match. Tama Tonga and Tangaroa of Bullet Club, Guerrillas of Destiny, will take on Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson of the club. And to make it fair, because I know what's going on at the moment, I'm going to ban everybody from ringside. It's a clear 2-on-2. Also tonight we're going to see Andrade, Cien, Almas taking on Hirumo Takahashi. We're going to see Jay White taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi. And we are going to see Pete Dunne versus the British Bulldog in a European Championship #1 contendership. So the winner of that one will go on to our next pay-per-view, Ascension, to take on Marty Scurll for the European Championship. As Hideo now heads up top, we know he likes to utilise that double foot stomp if he gets a chance. And there it is, wow. Hideo Itami really coming back into this one, now in control. Oh, Tyler Breeze with a jawbreaker on Hideo, and then went for that running one-legged dropkick, but Hideo managed to avoid it, now taking Breeze up into that package Michinoku driver. Hideo now bringing Breeze back up to his feet. Breeze sprung into the corner. Oh, hesitation dropkick attempt there by Hideo Itami, but Breeze brings him back up to his feet. Nice super kick, wow. Hideo got rocked from that super kick, but instead of going for the pin like he should do, Tyler Breeze taunting the crowd. Trying to get reaction, trying to get them behind him. Not sure that was the wisest way of doing it though, to be honest. And now Breeze hits the unprettier on Hideo Itami, now straight into the pin. This could be enough, you know. Referee very, very slow down as normal. 2 and 3, wow. There we go, there's me talking about big, big victories. And there is a massive victory as Tyler Breeze defeats Hideo Itami. I also understand we're going to hear from Kenny Omega once again later on this evening. Of course, he had that mic time last week where he announced that himself, Marty Scurll, and the Young Bucks will be leaving Bullet Club and reforming the Elite as a separate stable. But we understand that Kenny Omega has more he wants to talk about later on this evening, so we'll obviously get a chance to see that as well. But what a win this has been for Tyler Breeze. Maybe opening up some opportunities for him later on. And obviously his tag team partner Fandango very happy with the situation as well. I like these two, I really do. Unsung heroes, I think. SmackDown's writing crew are not fantastic. But then again, they're Triple H's friends, so they're not going to get anywhere very soon, are they, really? Let's face it. And here's our second match then, a big match from our junior heavyweight division as Andrade, Cien, Almas takes on Hirumo Takahashi in what is going to be a great high-flying encounter. Now, Takahashi's had a pretty decent time so far. A couple of matches, of course, he lost one because of interference, didn't it? And it wasn't a fact that he got pinned, was it? Let me try to look back at the details and see what happened. Yeah, so Takahashi faced off against Jay White, which finished in a disqualification victory for Jay White due to the attack from Evil and Bushi on the outside. Which was interesting, wasn't it? Takahashi had already beaten Will Ospreay in a match, though. He's done okay. I think all of LIG have done pretty well so far, to be honest. They've all looked pretty strong. They've won a few matches with managers and without managers as well. There's not necessarily waiting for just interference and so forth. They're very, very capable wrestlers on their own. And I think we might see some more of that here this evening. Although I do understand that we will see Evil alongside Takahashi here. But what influence will he have in the match? That's the question. I like this, man. I am so surprised that we did not see Hirumo Takahashi. I'm very, very surprised we did not see Andrade, Cien, Almas on Raw or SmackDown this week. That really, really confused me. I'm like, it was just, for me, it was just obvious that it should have happened. It was written in the stars because the reaction he's had in his trips to Mexico recently, proving how over he is with the Latin American fans, it just seems to me obvious that he should be on the main roster. Here they come then. Takahashi at the back being led by Evil. God, my PC's very loud. Maybe that's why it keeps crashing on me all the time. There's a bug on it. Crashing all the time at the moment, I tell you. Yeah, there's definitely someone moving in upstairs, I think, because it's very, very noisy. Who moves in? It's like 10 o'clock in the night. Who in the night? It's like 10 o'clock at night. Who moves in this time of night? That's weird. These people are weird. These people are weird. Says the man recording a WWE 2K18 video at 10 o'clock on a Friday night. You know, as you do. Such a formidable match this is going to be. Of course, like I say, we've got some big matches lined up for you this evening, including a tag team #1 contendership and a European #1 contendership. So it's all about the action here this evening. It's going to be great, isn't it? And Takahashi gets another chance to prove how good he is on this roster. But will he get a chance? Because like we said, the last time he was in one of these matches, Evil got him disqualified. But I think he would have lost anyway, to be honest. He'd been beaten up pretty badly in that match. Maybe Evil was just saving him and giving him this little out by saying, I lost by disqualification, not by being pinned. The bell goes and we are underway. Almas versus Takahashi. Of course, Zelina Vega at ringside for Almas. Evil at ringside for Takahashi. Will they get involved in the match? That's the question. Almas now wrenching the arm of Takahashi before dropping him down to a knee. But Takahashi, great transition into an armbar of his own. Almas manages to roll free, but you see the damage done by that armbar. He can feel it. Oh, nice drop kick. Takahashi playing possum, catching Almas now into a Hurricanrana as well. Takahashi front chancery. Oh, into a nice backdrop as well. Nice boot in the back of the leg by Almas. Such a good back and forth match this one. It's crazy, isn't it? Oh, dropping Almas face first into the mat. Almas now taking some control in this one. So I feel both these guys long term are going to be fantastic assets to our junior heavyweight division. So much so that I do have a plan in place to have a massive, massive, massive match at Shabby Mania, which could very much involve both of these guys for that junior heavyweight championship. So it's all down to them trying to impress as we go on and trying to earn their place in that big match. Who knows? Almas now big elbows right to the head of Takahashi. Almas now locking in the head scissors. You see Zelina Vega liking that one. And it's one of the things I really noticed when watching TakeOver of a WrestleMania weekend. It's just how much of a star Zelina Vega is. She is just so good at what she does. Without her, I don't think Almas would be half the character he is. But not only that, but the management style of not just being there and getting mouthy, but being able to rock some of the Hurricanranas she did and take some of the spots. That is what is a great aspect when you do have an actual proper wrestler as a manager, rather than just somebody who, oh, great roll through into a powerbomb there by Almas. Wow, that's the difference of having a wrestler and a mouthpiece. Oh, and there we go. Evil distracting the referee while Almas had Takahashi pinned. Interesting situation. But now Almas does lock in the hammerlock DDT. There's the pin. Referee distracted by the steel chair, but oh, referee, what are you doing? This referee is shocking, I tell you. This referee is absolutely shocking. Ref, you've got to remove Evil from ringside here. He's having far too much influence on this match. Takahashi now wheelbarrow arm drag takedown. Takahashi very happy with himself as referee finally finds a chance to get rid of that steel chair. Just for me, this is very iffy for me. This is, you know, I just feel the referee's in a pretty poor position. 1, 2... Oh, only a 2 count from Takahashi on Almas. Not far away, I don't think, you know. Takahashi now twisting the head of Almas. Oh, really wrenching at that head. Takahashi bringing Almas back up. There's a stiff right hand and now hooking the arms in for a nice dragon suplex. Takahashi now dragging Almas back up to a kneeling base, but Almas rolls out the way before getting caught by Takahashi once again. And Takahashi now, after taking some big moves, is slowly starting to get back into control of this match. Nice Falcon Arrow there by Takahashi. Into the pin. Oh, only enough for a 2 count. But it's getting closer and closer all the time, isn't it? Takahashi now stamping on the back of Almas, stalking. Up he goes onto Almas' shoulder. There it is. Oh, take him down flat on his back. Almas is flat. Takahashi with a pin. 1, 2, and 3. And Hirumo Takahashi does get the victory. But to what end was he helped there by the interference of Evil? Should this match have finished even before Evil had a chance, or even before Takahashi had a chance to go for the pin? In my opinion, I think Takahashi's been quite fortunate here with the interference of Evil. Maybe at some point we're going to have to see what happens when Evil is not there. We've got some more big matches coming up for you, including we're going to see Almas again in a couple of weeks' time taking on Will Ospreay in this Cruiserweight division, so another big one. Takahashi has got some interesting things lined up for the pay-per-view, actually. Interesting Takahashi. There we go, great victory for him. A certified G there, apparently, according to the screen. Why have we got the screen on? The screen should be on, should it? I don't know. Either way, victory for Hirumo Takahashi. And let's see how much he can take this form forward, I suppose, using the dirty tactics as you do as a heel. And here we go then, here is our next match of the evening. It is going to be the Tag Team Championship #1 Contendership match, and also the debut on this roster of Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. And all of a sudden, this Bullet Club battle has gone from 4 men fighting for the power of Bullet Club to now 3 separate stables being formed. It's crazy. Bullet Club, the Elite, and the Club are all in action here now, and we're yet to hear from Finn Balor, so it'll be interesting to see what Finn Balor has on his mind. But here come the Guerrillas of Destiny then. Of course, fresh off losing last week, Bad Luck Fale was involved in a one-on-one match against Kenny Omega, which descended into chaos and ended in a draw, but we Teddy Longed it up and turned it into a 6-man tag match, which was then won by the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. So these guys, fresh off a loss last week against them, be interesting. So if Gallows and Anderson were to win here and get themselves a shot at the Young Bucks for the Tag Team Championships, then that would mean back-to-back losses in back-to-back weeks for Bullet Club, but it would also mean back-to-back losses against the 2 stables that are split away from them, which is, of course, the Elite and now the Club here, Gallows and Anderson. I'd be interested if that did happen, you know, actually. Oh, cider. And I'm sure Cody Rhodes would not be impressed at all if this happened at all, you know. Not what Cody's like. He fought tooth and nail to get control of Bullet Club. He won the match, and now Bullet Club seems to be dismantling around him, which he cannot be happy about at all when you think about it, can you? Really. You go all out and you win something big, something huge, something that you think is going to help you create your legacy in the world of wrestling, only for that prize to be taken away from you. But that's the problem when the prize is people. The people don't necessarily want to be the prize. The rest of the members of Bullet Club would have had their ideas about who they wanted to lead. They seem to be quite happy with Kenny Omega. It only seemed to be Cody that had the issue. But of course, AJ Styles, Finn Balor throwing their hat in the ring. Would this have happened if AJ Styles or Finn Balor won the match? Again, another interesting question that could have been answered. But unfortunately now, this is all just hindsight. What would have happened? But either way, these guys are showing their allegiances. AJ Styles... Omega, for me, Omega, the Bucks, and Skull, for me, were the strongest members. They were the ones that I would have wanted to have at my side. Then again, there's a chance here for the Guerrillas of Destiny to prove me wrong. Not only here, but of course the winner of this match goes on to the pay-per-view to face off against the Young Bucks. So a lot of action up for grabs here. Gallows now bringing... Oh... Tanga Loa up to his feet before whacking him in the back of the head. And now Tanga Loa taking Gallows down. It's pretty much back and forth at the moment. Pretty much back and forth. Tanga Loa is taking more and more control of this one though as time goes on. Tama Tonga now in with a DDT on Luke Gallows. Anderson comes running in off the hot tag and hitting some big maneuvers on Tama Tonga. Now Anderson, sorry, heading up top. I really rate Carl Anderson. I think I do have Carl Anderson penciled in next week for a little bit of singles action. Oh, nice drop kick to the back of the head there. Anderson now slamming his boot onto the back of the knee of Tama Tonga. Anderson now sending Tonga into the corner. And Anderson is now taking some control, and commentator's curse there. Oh no, he's back in control, okay. I thought I'd ruined it for him there. hot tag made, but it's working pretty well here for Guerrillas of Destiny. But no, Anderson ducks that one, now catches Tanga Loa, that boot in the arm. Couple of big forearms in the back as well. Oh, running boot to the face by Carl Anderson on Tanga Loa. There's the pin. One. Only a 1 count, wow. Boot in the spine by Anderson, now stalking Tanga Loa, not Tanga, yeah. In with the Ace Crusher. I'm getting confused now, my names. 1, 2. Oh, he's kicked out. Oh, Anderson is rubbing his fist right in the face of Tanga Loa, who's literally just kicked out of that big Ace Crusher. Tanga Loa now bringing Anderson back up his feet, stiff right hand. Now into a backdrop high angle as well. Elbow drop to the heart there by Loa on Anderson. Loa, Anderson up on his shoulders into a Samoan drop. Back up on his feet, and such good back and forth this one, you know. There's the pin. 2. Oh, only a 2 count. Nice elbows in the shoulder there by Tanga Loa, slamming the back of Carl Anderson into the mat. Loa in control now, just slowing the pace down. I think he's struggling. Get a little bit tired out here. Loa, though, catching Anderson into the head scissors now. Get around the back into a backbreaker there by Carl Anderson. You see how well he's locked the ring off here. Always staying in between Tanga Loa and his partner. Oh, he was. I think he was just trolling him there a little bit, I think, you know. It looked it to me. As Anderson now throwing Tanga Loa back into the corner. Not sure what happened there. I think in the haste of Luke Gallows there, I think he actually caught his own partner while swinging for Tanga Loa in the ring. Anderson now bringing Tanga Loa back up to his feet. He's going to go for it again. That running single leg drop kick. It's a big old move, isn't it? Bringing him back up to his feet. Into the corner. Are we going to see the Magic Killer? Up he goes. There it is, the Magic Killer. But is Carl Anderson going to block off Tama Tonga like he should do? No, because this game's bloody awful at tag team matches. It doesn't know what to do, does it? Bloody hell. Just when you think you can rely on this game, it screws you over, doesn't it? Bloody old clever game, eh? I can't believe that. You just, how simple is it just to stay there and block them off? It's not difficult. It's the only thing you need to do. But now Carl Anderson's down on the outside. As Tanga Loa takes Gallows up on his shoulders into the Samoan drop. Could this be enough? There's the pin. No Carl Anderson. 1, 2. Oh, Gallows kicked out. Wow. Anderson is back up on the apron now. But for how long will he survive up there? Tonga now bringing Gallows back up. But Gallows taking Tonga over the long way. Jawbreaker by Tama Tonga on Gallows. Such a good back and forth match, this one. I still couldn't even tell you. Normally in these tag team matches you can sort of see which team is looking stronger. But in this one, both teams are looking just as good. Gallows now bringing Tama Tonga back up to his feet. Into the corner he goes. There's the tag. Are we looking for a second Magic Killer? It looks like we are, you know. There it is, a second Magic Killer. But is Luke Gallows going to be more intelligent than Carl Anderson was? He is. And he does block him off. And Gallows and Anderson are going to their pay-per-view to face off against the Young Bucks for the Tag Team Championships. What a debut that has been for them then, isn't it? A great debut for them. Oh, and Gallows continuing the assault on the Guerrillas of Destiny. Wow. It's brutalizing the Guerrillas of Destiny. Really showing an impact on their debut. Launching Tangaloa out the ring. And what is that? That's such a dominant debut for you here. Not only have they made their way to the pay-per-view for a big championship match, they've also sent a message to Bullet Club, who have now lost in 2 successive weeks. And here is our next match of the evening. We are going to revisit one of the top matches from this year's Wrestle Kingdom in Jay White. Switchblade versus Hiroshi Tanahashi. Good times. Tanahashi versus Jay White, and I really rate this Jay White call. I really do. I think it's a fantastic call. Real top-class wrestler. I think he, I must admit, I'm one of these really bad New Japan fans who always watches Wrestle Kingdom, but I'm not that good at keeping up with the rest of the year. I'm pretty sure he did actually win. He lost at Wrestle Kingdom, but he did actually go on to win the United States Championship at a later pay-per-view from him, I believe. Which is pretty awesome. And it just shows as how well New Japan are at taking that big risk, and I think it has paid off. They've developed themselves quite a big name in wrestling, and I really like it. I really like what they've got going on here. I'm a big fan. And to put him against somebody like... Yeah, put him up against someone like... Someone like Tanahashi, who's got a lot of experience and so forth, I think was probably a really good combination. As we see Tanahashi once again. Now, what does Tanahashi have to offer in this match? We know how good Tanahashi is. One of the world's best. Can he defeat Jay White? Jay White's had an interesting time so far. He has defeated Takahashi, as we discussed earlier. However, that defeat did become... However, that defeat did come because of... interference. Was it disqualification? I'm really losing track of what I'm trying to say half the time at the moment. I don't know what's wrong with me, to be honest. But I'm looking forward to this match. Again, it's one of those ones again that I really enjoyed during Wrestle Kingdom. It wasn't necessarily the best match on the card, don't get me wrong, but it was one that I just enjoyed because it was interesting. They built it up really well, and New Japan, they do have some pretty good storylines. They're not as storyline driven as WWE is, though. Don't get me wrong. WWE is very, very story driven. But I think they concentrate more on match quality, don't they, New Japan? But this was a really good storyline that sort of built up this big arrival of Switchblade for so long. No one knew who it was, and then it turned out to be Jay White. Of course, he was a guy who was... I'm probably going to get all these facts wrong. Citation needed on everything I say here. He was a guy who was a young lion in New Japan. He never really hit the ground running. So I believe New Japan sent him to America to try and get some more experience on the independent scene. He built himself up pretty well, disappeared away from New Japan for a while, which gave him the chance to develop and really become quite an asset to New Japan. And when he came back, he was utilized very, very well. He was essentially a... He's essentially a not a secret as such, but the whole thing was a surprise. I don't think many people expected it to be Jay White, because literally he went from young lion to facing off against one of the biggest men in New Japan's history. So it was really a great development. And let's see if he can do it on the game here as well. I'm going to stop talking now because I bet I've got so many of those facts wrong. It's unbelievable. I know what I'm like. I do apologise. Like I said, everything that I say needs to be citation needed. That's the best way of putting it, I think. As Jay White now drops from the middle rope with that elbow drop right to the heart of Hiroshi Tanahashi. And don't forget, we will be hearing from Kenny Omega after this match. He has more that he wants to discuss after that big bombshell last week about the Elite splitting away from Bullet Club. He's requested more mic time. So it'll be interesting to see exactly what Kenny Omega has to say here this evening. And of course, we have your big main event. Pete Dunne takes on the British Bulldog in a European Championship #1 contendership match. So big things afoot here tonight. And talking of foot, Jay White there just slamming his boot down onto the arm of Tanahashi, then into the corner. Jay White trying to stamp on Tanahashi, who forces him away. There's the pin. Oh, not even a 1 count. Wow. About to say a 1 count, but there was nothing there at all. Nice Russian leg sweep there by Tanahashi then on Jay White as well. Now Tanahashi taking some control up to the middle rope, in to the senton. But Jay White forcing Tanahashi away now. Jay White hooking the legs, looking for that package Michinoku driver. There's the pin. Going there for a 2 count. Oh. Jay White just dropping his boots right into the face now of Tanahashi now. Catching him once again in that front chancery. There's the arm breaker. What is going wrong with my PC? It's really going funny at the moment. I'm hoping you can't tell. The problems I'm having is it's distracted me a little bit as I'm trying to sort them and still continue recording at the same time. It's really... I need to format my PC, but I want to get ahead of my videos beforehand, and I'm not ahead of my videos. I mean, I'm recording this at like 8 o'clock on a Friday night to be uploaded on the Saturday. So it's with all the editing time, the uploading time, I am nowhere near going to be ready. Tanahashi heading outside now, looking to the top. Thought he might have been looking high-fly flow there, but Jay White able to get back up to his feet. Now Tanahashi with a snap suplex. Rolls straight into the pin. Not even a 1 count there. Tanahashi now heading to the outside and up to the top, but Jay White up on his feet. Once again. I had no idea what's going on with this. Yeah, that might work. I'm trying to change things. I've got no idea what's going on here. It's just it's pretty stupid. It's just not working at all. I missed the high fly flow there, Tanahashi. I'm really struggling. I'm hoping this is still recording now because I'm really struggling here with this. There's that package Michinoku drive once again. 1, 2. He's got it. He's got it. Jay White with a victory. Wow. So Jay White does pick up the victory over Hiroshi Tanahashi. That is a massive, massive win for him. Massive win. Such a back and forth match actually. Really could have gone either way. I think avoiding the high fly flow is obviously a massive part of the match because it doesn't only avoid doing damage to you, but it also makes your opponent do quite a lot of damage themselves by dropping themselves face first. There you go, look. Tanahashi landed face first on the mat and it did a lot of damage to him. Then Tanahashi there with that packaged Michinoku driver. Very happy with himself, as you can see, and why not be? He's just defeated one of the biggest names in SWE, in Octane, in the world of wrestling. What does the future hold for Jay White in SWE? That is the question. Answer? I do not know, to be honest. I honestly do not know at this point in time. Only time will tell. And here we go, and here is Kenny Omega. He has requested some more mic time, of course. He made that massive bombshell last week that himself, the Bucks, and Marty Scurll were leaving Bullet Club and reforming their own their own stable. Of course, the Elite, already a sub-part of Bullet Club anyway, of course, but broken away and a completely separate aspect. And of course, last week we saw what was supposed to be Kenny Omega versus Bad Luck Fale, which really descended into chaos, into a double count-out. So we of course Teddy Longed it and made it into a tag team match, 6-man tag, which of course the Bucks and Omega came out on top of. It's not gone too well for Bullet Club, has it really? Since Cody took over, they lost last week. They've lost the number 1 contendership match here this evening. It almost seems like Bullet Club is crumbling around Mr. Cody Rhodes. But of course, he's still the Octane champion, something he's holding very, very dear to himself. It's his first main championship, his first championship in general, I think, in SWE. So it'll be interesting to see how long he could hold on to that for. Anyway, let's grab Kenny Omega and Mike and see exactly what he has to say. I lost my championship at the All or Nothing pay-per-view to Cody Rhodes in a fatal 4-way elimination. That's crazy. Who gets put in a fatal 4-way elimination as the champion? Who has to put everything I had to put up on the line? I don't think that was fair. That's why I've spoken to William Regal backstage, and he has agreed that at the upcoming pay-per-view Ascension in a couple of weeks' time, I will be given a one-on-one rematch with you, Cody Rhodes, for the Octane Championship. Buckle in. Your ride's going to be a short one. And here we are, the main event of the evening. The British Bulldog takes on Pete Dunne in a number 1 contendership for the European Championship. Yes, the winner of this one does go on to Ascension, which is going to be next weekend, I believe, isn't it? I'll tell you what, it's not, no. Ascension is going to be up for you on, I think, Wednesday. We're going to go ahead, I think. Why am I wrong? What are they doing here? Yeah, pay-per-view 1, 2, 3. I'm confused now. Oh, no, sorry, no, it's not. We've got an extra episode on Wednesday, so the pay-per-view is going to be uploaded for you next Saturday. That's what it is. So I'm getting confused now. Yes, I'm not going to upload a midweek episode this week, just to try and get ahead of myself. I've sort of worked out my schedule all the way up to the World Cup now. We're finishing off Octane, then we're going to go into Carnage. And then when Carnage completes, we'll be ready to hit into our World Cup of Wrestling when the actual Football World Cup begins, which would be pretty nice. I like the idea of doing that. Something me and PJ Toby have dabbled with the idea of for quite some time. So for it to finally come round is pretty awesome. And here he is then, the Bruiserweight. Don't know why I went Scottish for that, but the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne. The Bruiserweight Pete Dunne is on his way. Pete Dunne, interesting universe mode so far. He hasn't really set the world alight, but then again, he always faces off against some really big people, so it's not always that easy for him to get the win. He's not like some of these guys who face off against some pretty weak opponents, sort of like boxing style. Face off against pretty weak opponents, build yourself up, and then go for a big match. Sort of jobbing to people, I suppose, if you look at it that way. He's not that sort of guy. He wants to prove himself against the best of the best. And that's exactly what he's going to get a chance to do here against the British Bulldog. I dare say one of his heroes, to be honest. He should be, either way. So I've been playing Pokemon Go today and the music's stuck in my head now. There we go, the bell is on. The bell is on, the bell is gone. There's the bell. I don't know, I'm lost either way here. Russian leg sweep straight away though by the British Bulldog on Pete Dunne. And Bulldog taking the early control in this match. Dunne fighting back there with a jawbreaker. Then was that a headbutt? I think that was a headbutt, you know. Pete Dunne taking Bulldog up into a powerbomb. And Pete Dunne showing his aggression here early on. The headbutt and the powerbomb are quite insane actually. Russian leg sweep there by Pete Dunne as well. Dunne, big right hand into Bulldog before that. Oh, wow, look at that backdrop. Pretty sure he dropped in like right on the top of his head. And Pete Dunne is dominating the British Bulldog here. I wasn't expecting this much dominant this early on. Moonsault by Pete Dunne as well. Not very often we see him go high risk, but it's paid off here this time. Shoulder block to shoulder block between these two, but Bulldog fights back, taking Dunne over. Now Bulldog taking Dunne up on... Nope. Dunne fighting back now. Oh, nice arm breaker there by Dunne on Bulldog. There's the pin. 1. Only a 1 count. Pete Dunne now. Oh, backbreaker. Into a Russian leg sweep. Dunne sending Bulldog into the corner. And now shoulder first into that post as well. Bulldog slamming Dunne's knee into the mat. All of a sudden, Bulldog getting some aggression back in this one. Nice headbutt there by Bulldog. Straight into the face of Dunne. There's the pin. 1. Only a 1 count. And now Bulldog in control of the match. It was very, very dominant from Pete Dunne to start things off. And now Bulldog looking to show what he can do. Oh, a nice step of Insiguri right to the side of the face of Bulldog. Pete Dunne now rolls him up into the pin. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Dunne now wrenching back at the arm of Bulldog. This looks bad. Oh, slamming the arm again. He's gone for that arm breaker quite a few times now, hasn't he? Seems to be very effective. Bulldog, oh, catching Dunne's leg, then just clattering him with that clothesline. Oh, up into the gorilla press and dropped. Oh, things are going to get iffy here for Pete Dunne as Bulldog now starting to take some control in this one. Bulldog taking Dunne up on his shoulder into that running power slam. There's the pin. 1, 2, and no. Wow. I was about to say that British Bulldog was going to Ascension to fight for the championship, but I was wrong. Well, I'm wrong at the moment. There's still a good chance that it might happen. Boston Crab locked in here by Bulldog on Pete Dunne. Of course, Bulldog trained a lot with the Hart family. Knows a good submission when he sees one. Ooh. Big kick across the chest by Pete Dunne, who then stamps on the knee of Bulldog. Brings him back up to his feet. Into a backbreaker, and it's just so back and forth all the time, isn't it? Dunne now once again with Bulldog. There's a chop across chest and another one as well. It's really could go either way at the moment, this one. I'm starting to feel like it could be Bulldog. For me, it just... Bulldog seems to have that more... I don't know, just that little bit more, doesn't he, to him? I don't know. Oh, but Dunne straight back up on his feet and a boot right in the side of the head. Wow. Dunne now taking him up and dropping him in that suplex. Just literally just dropped him, didn't he? He had no interest though in holding on to him. Pete Dunne once again working on the arm, but is he going to go for a submission? It's pointless to keep working on the arm if you're not actually going to go for a submission. Pete Dunne though stalking the grounded Bulldog. Looking to take him up. Drops him. I want to say it's called the bitter end, but I might be wrong on that one. Bitter end might be somebody else's. What's this finisher maneuver called? I don't know, but either way, we may see it again at Ascension as Pete Dunne faces off against Marty Scurll for the European Championship. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a match that was. I enjoyed that. I did enjoy that, actually. It was a good back and forth match. Wasn't one of these overly dominant in either way or the other. And it also means we now know who is going to be going for our European Championship as I write it down on my piece of paper. Pet Dunne. Good old Pet Dunne. Pet Dunne. So Pete Dunne defeats the British Bulldog. Again, just like a few matches here this evening. Jay White defeating Tanahashi. Breeze defeating Itami. Dunne defeating British Bulldog. Those are some massive, massive wins for those guys, actually. Massive, massive wins. So that's also the end of tonight's show. I hope you have enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, then please do hit a like and, of course, subscribe if you would like to see some more. I've been Shabby Gamer. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you very, very soon. Tomorrow, in fact, for our next episode of SWE Octane. Bye. The 1, 2, 3.